In November 2012, a 36-year-old fisherman named José Salvador Alvarenga set sail from the coast of Chiapas, Mexico, on what was meant to be a simple 2-day fishing trip. With him was Ezequiel Cordoba, a 22-year-old helper who had little experience at sea but wanted to earn some money. They loaded their small fiberglass boat with fishing gear, a few supplies, and a radio to communicate with the shore. The weather was calm when they departed, and everything seemed normal, until a massive storm appeared without warning. Within hours, the peaceful ocean turned into a nightmare. The wind howled like a monster, waves towered over their boat, and rain hammered down so hard they could barely see. They tried desperately to steer back toward the coast, but the storm was far too powerful. Their engine broke, their radio and GPS failed, and the small boat was tossed into the open ocean like a leaf in a hurricane. For the next several days, José and Ezequiel clung to life, believing rescue would come soon. But no one came. Their short trip became an endless drift into the unknown. At first, they survived on the little food and water they had. A few sodas, some biscuits, and what fish they managed to catch. But as days turned into weeks, their supplies ran out. Hunger gnawed at them, thirst dried their throats, and the burning tropical sun scorched their skin until it blistered. They learned to catch fish with their hands, trap birds that landed on their boat, and drink rainwater whenever storms passed. When it didn't rain, they were forced to drink turtle blood just to stay alive. Weeks passed, then months. The two men drifted farther and farther from civilization. The ocean was endless, nothing but blue water and sky in every direction. Ezequiel grew weaker with each passing day. He missed his family, cried for his mother, and told José he didn't believe they'd survive. José tried to keep his young companion's hope alive, reminding him to pray, to fight, and to believe that rescue was possible. But eventually, Ezequiel's body gave up. He drank seawater out of desperation, became violently ill, and died in José's arms. José was devastated. He had lost his only companion, his only friend in the vast ocean. For several days, he kept Ezequiel's body, talking to him, unable to let go. But eventually, he realized he had to say goodbye. And with tears in his eyes, he released the body to the sea. From that moment on, José was completely alone in one of the most hostile places on Earth. The days turned into an unending blur of sunlight and waves. José had no idea how long he had been adrift. Weeks, months, maybe even a year. He fought off sharks that circled his boat, repaired his small vessel with anything he could find, and lived off whatever the ocean gave him. Sometimes he caught fish or turtles. Other times, he went days without food. He collected rainwater when he could, or drank his own urine when desperate. To stay sane, he spoke to himself, prayed constantly, and imagined conversations with his family back home. At night, he stared at the stars and found comfort in their silent company. There were moments when he wanted to give up, when hunger, loneliness, and exhaustion made life unbearable. But each time, something deep inside pushed him to keep going. He believed that God was watching over him and that one day he would see land again. After 439 days, more than 14 months adrift at sea, a miracle finally happened. In January 2014, José spotted something on the horizon. At first, he thought it was another illusion, like so many times before. But as he floated closer, he realized it was land. A small island in the Marshall Islands, nearly 6,700 miles from where his journey had begun. Gathering what little strength he had left, José jumped into the water and swam toward it. When he reached the shore of Ebon Atoll, he collapsed on the sand, too weak to move. A local couple found him, sunburned, bearded, and barely able to speak. They rushed to get help, and soon authorities confirmed that he had survived one of the longest recorded ordeals at sea in human history. Doctors said it was a miracle. José was dehydrated, covered in sores and malnourished, but alive. When news of his survival spread, the world was stunned. Many doubted his story at first. It seemed impossible that a man could survive over a year lost in the ocean with no equipment, no supplies, and no fresh water. But oceanographers later confirmed that currents could indeed carry a small boat from Mexico all the way to the Marshall Islands, exactly as José described. His knowledge of fish, turtles, and ocean life matched his story perfectly. When José returned home to El Salvador, he was greeted as a hero. But behind his quiet smile, he carried the heavy memories of everything he had endured. The loss of his friend, the endless loneliness, the hunger, and the voice of the ocean that had nearly taken his life. Even years later, he said that the nights at sea still haunted his dreams. José Salvador Alvarenga's journey is not just a story of survival. It's a story of unimaginable endurance, faith, and the power of the human will. He faced the impossible and refused to surrender. Against the fury of nature, isolation, and despair, he proved that as long as a person has hope, even a single spark, they can survive anything.